My name is Mary Thompson, and I'm talking about my work entitled Caverns Measureless to Man. My photographic work in the caves of Cheddar and Wookey Hole is related to the concept of infinity and vastness, both of which are aspects of the sublime, according to Edmund Burke. In 1757, he said, "Greatness of dimension is a powerful cause of the sublime." I chose to photograph the caves because I wanted to explore an interior landscape. What I discovered there were landscapes as barren and rugged as those of the moon or the seabed. I saw miniature versions of exterior landscapes, microcosms of the outer world, which is the macrocosm. As William Blake puts it in Auguries of Innocence, to see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. The pools gave reflections in the scenes and thus added a further dimension of infinity. The caverns were indeed measureless to man. Perhaps Coleridge, a Somerset poet, had visited these Somerset caves and had them in mind when he wrote Kubla Khan. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure-dome decree, where Elf the sacred river ran, through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. In my photographic work, I seek to investigate two aspects of the sublime, infinity and vastness. When I photograph the inner landscape of the caves, I am using the ambiguity of size and shape to explore infinity. I am attempting to transform miniature rock pools into vast landscapes. Obviously, I'm not looking at the infinite and vastness itself, but I'm trying to engineer a perception of each in the eye of the viewer. When I first visited the caves, I was going to compare the inner and outer landscape and thought the caves would give me a depth of meaning and an unusual perspective. I was also interested in the idea of a microcosm being a reflection of a macrocosm. This concept is connected as we can expand into a world of infinite proportions or contract into a tiny infinitesimal world of atoms. This is again Blake's grain of sand. When I went into the caves, I thought it resembled the inside of the mountainous regions of the world. The stalagmites and stalactites had created a world of cliffs, mountains and peaks set against lakes of water coming from the bed of the river Axe. The pools gave reflections which went on to give intimations of infinity. When I took the photographs, I wanted to use the ambient light in the caves, as I thought further flashlights would destroy the mood of darkness and mystery. I thought the semi-dark soft light emanating from the cave walls themselves would give them an eerie glow. The uncanny is also a concept of the sublime. In this way, the lighting system would enhance the mood of an unknown subterranean interior. What I discovered was that some of these photographs looked like surreal landscapes. The use of light in photography is important in my work, as it is through the direction of shadows that perspective and scale can be seen. Spatial relationships in the landscape are an important aspect of my work, as I wish to explore the perception of the viewer through the devices of ambiguity and illusion. In this respect, I wish to explore the symmetry in nature and see its effect in photographs. Symmetry infers pattern, and this idea leads on to the concept of multiplicity in the universe, another form of infinity and magnitude. Asymmetry is the obverse, but can be used to create an infinite variety of the nearly identical images. Both these ideas infer repetition, and this itself infers infinity. Repetition is an important factor in my photographic work because repetition infers infinity. However, repetition also infers pattern, and I'm therefore always exploring the patterns of the microcosm in the macrocosm. In this way, the pattern of the landscape can be mirrored in small forms. When using reflecting patterns through digital photography, I was able to achieve an infinity of variations. It also made the caverns seem massive, like Thomas Gray's dark, unfathomed caves of Ocean's Bare. I had created a subterranean world akin to the world of legends, with natural patterns coming together to form recognizable creatures. I experimented with different degrees of symmetry and created more unusual landscapes, not so obviously contrived. And in this way, I created landscapes with an otherworldly context, like in a film or a dreamscape. I have tried to create images of the sublime from the physical world, and in doing so created images of a mythological imagination, which, like the caves, is measureless to man. The sublime is seen in the eye of the viewer and therefore can only be intimated and not created by man.